welcome back to the first episode of season 2 of Beyond the Arc. We took the off season off, but I've come back. I'm back with Sully, from the last episode.
Yo, we're back.
We had to bring him back. The season starts on Tuesday from when we're recording this. It is the Thursday before, so it starts in about 5 days. Just so you guys know, we've just got pre-season going off of this, and obviously all the trades that have happened, all that kind of stuff before the season properly starts. We're not going off of any games that have started, depending on when this comes out. Hopefully, it'll come out before the start of the season. But anyway, Sully, how are you doing today, man?
I'm good, my bro. I'm excited for the season, if I ever lie.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been ages.
It really does. I remember just watching the Bucks just
that was different.
beat the Suns. Yeah, different times. We've had plenty of things that have gone down since then. Plenty of mad free agency deals.
This year, free agency has been crazy.
A lot of vaccine problems. Kyrie might not be playing next season. The Nets might be in the mud.
Potentially. I mean, he missed quite a bit of last season anyways.
I still think that the Nets will do well, but I'm not going to give too much away because today's video, the first season premiere of the second season, is going to be us predicting the NBA rankings this season. So the East and the West, we're going to be predicting who's going to come where in the conferences. Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Yeah, so am I. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting season. There's a lot of teams that can do well. I was going through trying to make my own predictions, and it's actually quite hard. I'm leaving out a few decent teams. What we're going to be doing today, it's just going to be a bit of a chilled one. We're just going to be discussing them together because, like you guys listening at home, we don't know each other's predictions. So what we're going to be doing, we're just going to be leveling them out one by one from 15 to 1 for each of the conferences, and we're just going to be chatting about it, discussing why we made those decisions. But before we get into it, it's been a while since I had to say this, but make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you're watching it on any Spotify or podcast platform like that, make sure that you're sharing it out. And without further ado, I think we should get into it.
Of course, man. Of course.
So should we start with the East?
Absolutely. That's why I was hovering over the East first, so that's how I was going to go. Yeah, man.
So who have you got to finish rock bottom of the Eastern Conference?
It was like a tussle between two teams. Obviously, Detroit last year was on the ground the whole season, but I think Cleveland are gonna come last. I think they just
For real?
I think they're on the ground, driest team. They just don't give me anything. I don't get any excitement. If I see the Cavs are playing, I don't watch it. I'm not gonna lie.
They have Taco Fall this year. Yeah, my guy's
Taco Fall is, to be fair, he is huge, but I've never really while he was at Celtics, he never really impacted the team. He was just low key. He was only known because he was massive. He wasn't known for having game. The most he did was get the fans gassed when he got off the bench that time. that was it. That was sick though. But he looks like he could be a serious player. But I don't know. I've seen 10 minutes of him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll get much game time, especially if they've got Jarrett Allen on there, and they've got Larry Markkinen this year.
I just don't. He'll be 6th or 7th man, something like that, because of how his height. Just obviously the advantage is crazy, but I just don't see him doing anything else. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, for 15 for me, I put down the Orlando Magic.
Okay, you know what? Them three. So obviously the bottom three from last year. I was just saying who's gonna become last, and I was gonna put Magic, but I decided not to. But go on. I do
think that Jalen Suggs is a decent pickup in the draft. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does, but literally I just don't see him improving much this year. I don't think they're going to be that good. Their team just not cutting it for me. I'll be looking forward to seeing Markelle Fultz back. I did say in the last episode that we did that I think if Markelle Fultz had stayed healthy, Orlando wouldn't have been in the position that they were in.
To be fair, the season's going to be a lot different. There's so many healthy players coming back. It's crazy. All these teams that were smashing it last year could easily be middle of the conference because of all these healthy players coming back.
But I don't think Markel's going to do much for the Magic, so that's why I've got them last.
That's a fair take, I can't lie. That's fair.
But just above them, and I think maybe you've got with the same, I've put the Detroit Pistons in 14th.
I put them in 14th as well.
Yeah. So Detroit, I think they're going to go one better than last season. They got the top pick in the draft. They brought in Cade Cunningham. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. I don't really know much about him.
Me neither. But I've seen some clips of him on Instagram and stuff. He's looking good. Obviously, college and high school games or whatever is completely different to the NBA, but sometimes you can just tell with some players he's gonna bring something, but nowhere near enough what they need.
No, me neither. Do you think that Jeremy Grant is going to keep doing what he was doing last year? You know, he came close to winning Most Improved last year.
Potentially, but at the same time, no, because they've not really improved the squad. They've not like when you come 14th in the conference, you need a lot of strength, and they've added almost. It's just like I don't know. Their team is not on the up at all. I just if Grant does end up pulling it out of the bag like he did last year, he will definitely win Most Improved because like he's done it back to back now.
Yeah, you've got to be giving him respect if he does it again this year. I
Yeah,
think
easy.
a lot of people are spectacle, but again, like with Marco Fultz, I don't think that he's going to be
It's
the
not
guy
enough. It's not enough.
that brings them up.
He'll be there like standout player, but it won't be enough.
In 13th, I've got the Cavs, so
So
I've
you've
got the
got them
same.
doing it again,
Yeah,
13th. See, I
yeah,
put the Magic as 13th.
fair. So we've both collectively
The
predicted
same
the
teams to
same
be
three teams.
on the ground.
I do think that they just need time to Cleveland. They've still got Colin Sexton and Darius Garland, haven't they? They've brought in Larry Markkinen, who I do think has a lot to prove. Just the thing is with Cleveland, they haven't had a really good preseason, is what I'm saying. They've kind of been slapped about.
That is, yeah, you're absolutely right. But the thing is, I've not based a lot of my predictions on preseason just because it's not really been like the main players playing except from a few here and there. But
That's fair.
obviously, I've got like, you still get the gist of things like how the team's running and stuff like that. So I did obviously take it into account a little bit, but not my entire.
So you put the Magic down for 13th. What
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
saying about them?
I mean, the thing is, there's gonna be no improvement from those three. It's just gonna be like who is like the best of the worst. Until they add strength into their team, until they start adding some big players that'll like make some form of change, they're not gonna move up.
So I think those three are kind of locked in the
Yeah,
bottom three.
easy,
And then
easy.
I genuinely think that everyone else is pretty. Obviously, there's better teams than others, but I think there's a solid group of teams that are going to be fighting for like a playing spot this year.
100%.
And then there's like a solid few that are going to be challenging for the proper top four seeds. Within them groups, they're quite interchangeable with each other. So I'm looking forward to seeing who you've got as 12th.
12. I like thought about this quite in depth, and I put Washington because
Talk to me.
Bradley Beal, as amazing as he is, I love watching Bradley Beal. Like the guy is just different, but they've lost Mr. Triple Double, and he
That's
was
true.
like as much hate as he gets. He was a big player. That's a big loss. I just don't see them doing what they did last year. Like they were quite impressive overall, and I just don't think they'll be able to do the same. You never know. They're the underdogs overall, so I hope because I love watching an underdog season. Like last year with the Suns, how they came up. I loved watching it.
Yeah,
If
me
they
too.
do that, if they prove me wrong, I'm not going to be upset. But I think Washington are going to be 12.
Damn, for real. Well, I'll talk about Washington a little bit later. But in
Mm.
12th place, I've got a team that I think has gotten worse from last season. And I've actually put the Toronto Raptors
Oh, so
in
you're saying
12th.
they're going to stay?
They are. I mean, they've lost Kyle Lowry. I'm looking now. They brought in Goran Dragic. But other than that, I genuinely don't think they've brought in anyone else that's half decent. And I think they're going to need to rely a lot more on Siakam this year. And they tried doing that last year, obviously, and it didn't really work.
Yeah, it flops
Um,
hard.
Yeah, you never know. Siakam might bounce back, but at the moment, I generally think it'll be another poor season for them, another draft lottery season. I mean, they got one of the top four picks in the draft this year, so
Mm.
we'll see how Scotty Barnes plays. But again, especially with these new players that are coming in, I don't really know much about them. I don't really watch college basketball that much,
Mm.
so I'm going off of what I have. The Raptors have gotten worse in my opinion. I'm putting them 12th.
To be fair, and if Siakam doesn't pick up, they could finish lower,
I
realistically.
I doubt that. I think the bottom three are going to be like at
Yeah,
least a
you
good
think?
6 games off of everyone else.
Fair enough.
I think they'll be in like their own mini league.
But you know what? That's a fair shout because to be honest, I put Toronto as 11th anyways.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, but even still, like 11th and 12th for me are interchangeable. But I think 11th and 12th will be Toronto and Washington, either or. I don't know. I just because Siakam, he's on his own now, pretty much.
He's got Van Vliet still, but
Yeah, but like he's aging. I just think he's gonna have one of them seasons. He's not gonna be like how he was when they won the league and stuff, but I just think he's gonna be enough to make them well, I say better than last season, one place up, in my opinion. But you never know, like because of Lowry. What a player, man. That
I
could.
think he's going to impact the Heat so much this year.
Oh,
As
the
we're
Heat have
approaching the ring.
potential. They've got big potential.
Yeah.
Like somewhat crazy.
In the 11th position, I've gone with Indiana. I've gone with
Okay,
Pacers.
okay.
So not someone that you've mentioned before. Again, it's a team that I don't think has really improved over the off season. Like they've still got a decent core. Karis LeVert's going to be coming back first full
Hmm.
season.
To be fair, you're absolutely right. Last year they weren't amazing, but they weren't poor either. But there was like they added nothing really. They didn't do it enough, not even. But that's a good shout to be fair. It's a nice take, can't lie.
Have you got Indiana in 10th, or have you got anyone else in 10th?
I do. I can't lie. I've got them in 10th. I don't think they're gonna be like amazing, but I don't think they're gonna be enough to go bottom spot.
Yeah.
But to be fair, yeah, 10th because I moved some people up and but yeah, just same like they just I don't think they're strong enough. The core, as you said, what a fight they've got a decent starter team and then that's it really. No impact off the bench. Not enough.
Now in 10th, I've got. I think this might be a hot take. I'm not really sure, but I've actually gone with the team that finished 10th in the conference last season.
Oh, you're gonna upset me, man.
I've actually put the Charlotte Hornets there. I'm
Oh,
not on the LaMelo Ball hype train yet.
oh
I'm not,
my
I'm
days.
not like you.
Man, I love them guys, man. Bro, your boy owns that club. How do
I
you?
don't look. I know you said you haven't been talking about preseason that much, but last night they got blown out by like 60 against the Mavs. Like that can't run.
That is that you're not even wrong. I saw
That
that.
can't run.
I saw that.
I don't care if it's preseason. That can't run.
I woke up and I saw that and I couldn't believe it.
I think I have put them in 10th, but they do have the potential to do better. They obviously do have pretty much the same team kind of as last season almost, and which is a decent team still. You know, they've
Yeah.
still got Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward. You know, if they can stay fit, maybe they'll finish 10th and maybe squeak in to that like a top 8 through the play. But I don't back them. I'm not a LaMelo Ball hype man yet.
Not yet. Well, I've been on LaMelo since he joined the league. That guy. I just love watching him play basketball, man. He plays effortlessly, and I just love it. So I've got them higher than 10th. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But speaking of the Hornets, speaking of the Ball brothers, do you think that Liangelo is going to get some NBA minutes this year?
I hope so. Do you see him in the summer league?
Yeah, he was decent.
He was showing some good signs. I hope so, man. I just imagine all three Ball brothers, man. That's the dream. Every NBA fan wants to see that low key. That would be so. Oh my days. I don't even want to. I'm too hyped for that. Like the potential of that happening.
Well, just
It's
all
like
three of them on the same team.
it's like the Spider-Man coming up December. This is how it's gonna be. I hope so, though. Honestly, I hope so. In ninth, I've got Atlanta.
Oh, that's a hot take, you know. What the hell?
Listen, the reason why, in my opinion, Atlanta did well last year is because a lot of teams were slacking, and they just had one of them moments where they capitalized. And I think they're gonna drop crazy. Like I put a lot of thought into the top 9, top 8 of the conference, both of them, but I think Atlanta's gonna finish ninth.
So when it's all said and done, do you not see him making the playoffs this year, or do you think they're going to get him through the?
No.
Oh.
And then I think Trey's gonna leave at the end of next season.
For real? Well,
Yeah.
He's gonna not. He's not had it. He's
Gonna finish ninth. He's gonna be like, this team is dry.
Yeah.
I'm going, and I think he might go to like Philly or something and just do bits. And
Fair. I mean, I definitely disagree with that. Like that's probably a hotter take than me.
The hottest take
so far. That's.
But this is what we're here for. This is what Beyond the Arc is about.
Yeah. In the comments, slew Sully. Say Sully, no nothing.
No nonsense.
Hey, if we look back at this at the end of the season and we see that Atlanta finished 9th, bro, like I don't know what to do.
I'm just saying, if it happens, I don't even know. I should put some money on it.
Well, in 9th place, I've got Washington. So we're back at Washington.
Yeah.
I like the look of their team. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I like the look of Spencer Dinwiddie, who missed pretty much all of last season with an injury. He kind of just got discarded by the Nets. They've brought in Montrezl Harrell as well.
Yeah.
You know, they've kind of just got the team that have been left out.
So potentially they could have some big players, if they come together in the right
Yeah,
way,
exactly.
it could happen.
Although, I mean, I say that with the others. I'm not saying that about Kyle Kuzma. That dude's done.
He's actually
Retired.
funny to watch. I can't even lie.
Do you see that clip of him in pre-season? Oh, you sent me it.
Yeah, I sent it to you. I sent it to you. What was he doing? I
My
don't.
man double dribbled, travelled, and then airballed a layup in the same possession. What's this guy? What's this guy on?
I've not even seen people do that in like 2K. I don't know what this guy's doing. Like, oh my days. Honestly, that was hilarious. I was in stitches when I saw that. I could not believe it. He is done. He's getting no game time. There's a reason he's playing preseason because he's not playing NBA at all. He's getting no minutes.
I'm looking around at that team, and it's just full of players that have something to prove. And I think that Bradley Beal will take that out of them. I think they'll maybe sneak in that 8th place
That you know
over
what? It's a good shout.
in the playing over the team that I have in 8th, which is New York.
You're dropping New York by 4.
Hey, look, I've got you drop Atlanta by 4. I've got the same logic as you for Atlanta with New York. I think one of the main reasons that they did do well is because of
everyone else was slacking.
Everyone else, they beat who they needed to beat, and when it came to the playoffs,
they got slapped up.
Yeah, I do like the addition of Kemba Walker. I think he blows hot and cold. I think does Kemba.
Last season, or while he was with the Celtics towards the end, he was like non-existent almost.
I think that Randall has a lot to prove after he's a stinker in the playoffs.
100%.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how RJ Barrett copes again. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league.
Yeah, but also Julius Randle, he needs to follow up because he had a good last season.
His playoff.
Obviously, the playoffs was stinky, but obviously, if he can't perform overall last season how he was this season, and he's just gonna get flushed out, and New York aren't gonna have a good season at all. And they've always been one of them teams that I've quite liked, just in general.
Yeah. I like the franchise. I like Derrick Rose. They've got Tom Thibodeau in charge, who
Yeah, of course. Like the Knicks franchise is just one of them. Everyone knows the Knicks. Everyone likes the Knicks. You can't really hate on them.
I just don't think that they're gonna make the playoffs this year, unfortunately.
For number 8, I've got Boston.
All right.
I think they've got, like we've been saying, a strong core. Tatum, his potential he's gonna be up there soon. I just don't think it's yet. And obviously they got rid of Kemba, who, even though he wasn't as impactful as everyone thought he was gonna be, he's still a decent player, and he did pop off sometimes. I just don't see them finishing 7th again, but 8th is close enough.
What's your opinions on Dennis Schroder?
He's hot and cold because last season, when like LeBron and AD were missing, there'd be games where he dropped like 30 points, 40 points, and then there was a game, I remember, he dropped 0 and he played for like 30 something minutes. How are you dropping 0 points in half an hour? I mean, he's a good player and it's a good addition, potentially, but it could just be another Kemba Walker situation with how they've got him, where he'll go off sometimes and sometimes he'll just be non-existent.
Fair enough. So I've got Boston at 7th.
Okay.
So I've got them staying where they were last year. Same with you on the Dennis Schroder thing. I think he has a lot to prove. Turned down lots of money and now doesn't have much money. But I think he does have a lot to prove. I do like the pickups that they've got. They've brought back Al Horford, which I kind of like. Yeah, I like Al Horford. I think he's a decent player. He's a good vet for them.
Jaylen Brown, when I watched that guy, especially in the bubble, oh my days, he was crazy. On his day, him and Tatum together, they do some dangerous things. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly. So it just depends how often they can get them to play together.
100%.
If I'm honest, with the players, with the decent players that they've got around them, they have potential to go high. But I'm playing it a bit safe with them.
Yeah,
they were a bit lackluster last season. They haven't really added anyone huge. They've just added a lot of like role players around them. Yeah,
role players. But they have potential, that's the thing. And in my opinion, they're still building towards being a big team again. I can see them building slowly and steadily. And obviously, Celtic, again, is just one of them teams. Me personally, I just don't really dislike them. And if they do become like that big team, that again, I won't mind. I'd enjoy that. Seeing Tatum like at the top soon, because in a couple of years, in my opinion, he will be MVP.
I think so too. Be interesting to see how they gel under their new coach, who was assistant for the Spurs, the Sixers, and the Nets. This is like his first proper head coaching gig, which is a pretty big task for him.
It is. Of course, he's got quite a good team to work with, but that can sometimes be the downfall. Like obviously, a lot of coaches, they start off with like smaller teams and work up. Obviously, this is his first major job. But you never know. He might just stand out and
Yeah.
I won't mind seeing that.
So who have you got 7th?
Me for 7th, I put New York. Like I said, I really like New York. I still see them getting top 4 like they did last year. It was like I loved seeing it last year. I just don't think it can happen again. I mean, I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they win the conference. That would be crazy. Derrick Rose gets the chip. That's my dream.
Yeah, my guy. That's what we want.
That's the dream. That's the dream. But I think New York is 7th.
I think it does depend on if Julius Randle can get back to where he was in the regular season last year.
100%.
So for 6th, and I'm not sure if this is a hot take, as a Chicago fan myself, I have gone a little bit safe with where I've put my team. So I've put Chicago 6th.
Okay. How have I put Chicago higher than you?
I like that. I'm a very, very nervous fan.
Yes.
Yeah, what if something happens? But yeah, this team has everything it needs really at the moment.
Crazy potential. Crazy.
I'm so happy we got Lonzo Ball, you know.
What a pickup.
It's just
Honestly.
it's players that we weren't even expecting to get. I'm not sure if
It just happened out of nowhere.
I've said this before. I probably haven't. I look at my phone. We've got Alex Caruso. I look at my phone again. We've got DeMar DeRozan. You what? And DeMar DeRozan's looking happy now. You know, he was a bit. He didn't.
About time. About time. He deserves it, man.
He hasn't looked happy since he left the Raptors, man. But now he's at the Bulls. And then our youth's really good as well. You know, Zach LaVine, he's not old.
Not even. And that guy is just, oh my days. In the next 6 or 7 years, he's going to be like just one of the most consistent players in the league, in my opinion. I think he's going to just be that guy who's just playing well every single game for me.
Yeah, so are you seeing the Bulls' big three gelling well together? Because obviously you've got DeMar DeRozan, you've got Nikola Vucevic, you've got Zach LaVine. 3 players who are very used to being the main guy in their team.
I think they're going to pop off. I'm not going to lie. I think they're going to go crazy. I've got them higher than you. I'm not going to lie. I've got them quite a bit higher.
And also, I'm putting it out there. Depending on when he gets fit again, depending on how much of the season he plays, Kobe White has everything it takes to be a 6th man of the year.
I remember I said this in the last episode we did. Kobe White, that guy, his potential is crazy. Oh my days. He is something else, man. 6th man of the year. If he's consistently playing games, I see that 100%. I see that happening.
Anyway, I've rambled on about the Bulls a lot. We will talk more about the Bulls when you get to them, but obviously you've not put them 6th. So who have you put 6th?
I'm keeping Miami at 6.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Their team is amazing. Their team is looking good right now. For example, Tyler Hero last season, where was he? I don't know. I just think the same thing's going to happen. Some players aren't going to turn up. Obviously, 6th is still a good spot for them, but it's just not the best. I just think they're sitting at 6th.
All right, that's fair. That's a fair shout. I don't think so. I've put them quite a bit higher.
Yeah.
Than 6th. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, they do have a lot of potential. But again, they didn't really play that well last season. Had a slow start, ended up getting swept. So yeah, it really does depend on how well they do at the start, I think, and then they'll push on from that.
100%.
So in 5th, I've put Atlanta.
Okay. So you're saying they're staying?
They've got such a good young core, man. And John Collins is going to be one of their main players, I think, this year.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that dunk he did on one of the Cavs in their preseason game?
Yes, I did. I think you sent it to me. Oh my days, that was crazy. Yeah. Oh my god, I watched that for like a good 10 minutes. I was just sat there like, wow, like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
that was crazy. I know I dropped them quite a bit, but I mean they've got some. I mean Trae Young. How much can we talk about that guy? We could make a whole episode about Trae Young.
Leave a like if you want an episode all about Trae.
Comment for Trae Young. Tag Trae Young on Twitter. We'll get him on.
But yeah, I mean, they haven't really changed much about their team, and they got to the conference finals last year. And as much as you were saying teams have gotten better, I think they will have gotten better.
They have. Do you think they've got better
because of how young they are and
100%,
the experience they would have got in the playoffs last year?
100%.
I think they will have gotten better. And also, I actually don't think that. I think there's probably more teams have gotten better in the West, I'd say, compared to the East.
That's a fair shout, actually. Yeah.
I think Atlanta are going to finish 5th. I think they'll get to the conference finals? I haven't really thought about it. Maybe I don't think so.
But you see, like if you saw it happen, would you be surprised?
No, I'd say they're probably, when it comes down to it, probably the second best team in the East at the moment. If they can avoid Milwaukee, I don't see why they can't get to the finals this year. Who have you got fifth?
So I've got the Charlotte Hornets finishing fifth. No, I don't care.
I completely forgot that you hadn't said them yet. I'm not gonna
I've
lie.
been waiting. I've been waiting. Listen, I am one of the biggest Melo Ball fans on the planet, and I listen. I'm probably the only person on all of planet Earth that thinks they're gonna make it that far. I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm not even a Hornets fan. I'm just a Ball fan, and I don't know. I just think something's gonna happen. They just have one of those years where they just become amazing out of nowhere, just for no reason. It just happens. No one knows why it's happening, and I can't even explain why I think that. That's just my thought process. I just thought of them and I was like, yeah, they finish top five. Melo Ball is gonna be MVP. No, he's not. He's not. But
I am just gonna let you have that. I'm not sorry. Yeah, literally.
No one can see Sam's face, but he looks so disappointed in me.
I'm like, bro. I don't know, man. I'll let you have it, but I'm not a big Ball fan.
I just when Atlanta finish ninth and and Charlotte Hornets finish top five, then you guys can all at Sam on Twitter and say Fat L.
All right, sure.
He's so unconvinced.
Right, top four in the conference. Fourth, I've got Philly.
Okay.
Because I think that they will have a good back end of the season. Philly have been that team that they've just been decent throughout the regular season. I mean, they finished top last year, didn't they? But the fact is, we're 5 days away from the start of the NBA season, and Ben Simmons is still a Philadelphia 76er.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a major L, I can't even lie.
And nobody wants him there.
I don't even think the players want him there, I can't lie.
No other team wants him either.
It's like, how bad of a player can you be that not a single... I don't understand, but then I don't understand how he gets the game time.
To be fair, I think he has interest from other teams. Just Philly want 6 first round draft picks as well.
They want someone in it. They want someone crazy. The thing is that there is times when Ben Simmons shows that he can play some good basketball, but that's like once every now and then.
Too negative of a basketball player in my opinion.
He's very, very inconsistent. Like he's just... Some people have a bad game every now and then. He has a good game every now and then, and they're never ever gonna win even the conference finals with that guy in their team ever.
Also, I'm not an NBA executive. I don't really know much, but I don't think that an Andre Drummond acquisition for the Sixers is a good idea.
I mean, he's just okay.
But even then, what is he going to be playing second fiddle to Embiid? Drummond's definitely not going to want that. And we've had the whole thing in the past where Embiid's properly clowned Drummond on Twitter after having a decent game.
I mean, he was never going to stay at LA because he just was very poor for most of the season. He was not good. And maybe it was just one of them, let's just get him because he's there type things.
Other than Embiid, they don't really have many other people. So, yeah, I think fourth might be too high for them potentially, but I think...
Fourth might be too high. You know what?
I'm not going to change it. I think they're going to...
Yeah, to be honest, I put them fourth as well, but even I think they might not even make that. I was being nice because they finished top last year. So I thought, okay, I can't drop them too much. I've already dropped a few people. I'm not trying to go crazy, but fourth.
Well, I don't think there's much else that we need to say about Philly.
100%.
Let's go into the top 3. And in third place, I've got Miami.
Okay.
I think they just have one of the best all-round teams in the NBA, in my opinion. Kyle Lowry at point. You have Victor Oladipo at shooting guard, who has a lot to prove. And
I know you're a big fan as well. I know you're a big fan.
I like myself a bit of Victor Oladipo. You've got Jimmy Butler as your forward, as well as someone like Duncan Robinson, who's decent 3-point shooter.
He really showed off his skill last season.
And then you've got PJ Tucker as well, who can come in and be one of those forwards, who's probably one of the toughest players in the NBA. And then you've got Bam Adebayo at your center. That's a decent all-round team, in my opinion. And then you got Tyler.
I forgot they got Bam. I forgot about that. Ah,
How did you forget about Bam?
it just slipped my mind. But you know what? I'm just gonna keep him at 6. But still, you know what? But either way, like you could be right as well because that is a strong team. Like past the core as well. Like overall, they do have a strong team. It's just about whether they can work well together.
Their bench isn't as strong as say like Chicago's or something like that,
Mm.
but I think it'll be enough to secure them a top 3 position.
That's absolutely fair to be honest. But for me, I put Chicago off third.
Yeah, I thought so. You know, the top 2 are pretty
Yeah,
self-explanatory.
I'm not putting him top 2.
Yeah.
But I put him at third because I remember every time they signed a new player, I was sending it to you. They went off. They had the best off season by far, by a mile. You're saying Miami's got the strongest team. I think Chicago's built one of the strongest teams. I'm so excited to watch them play. It's unreal. And I'm not even like a fan like you. I'm just so excited to see what they can do. They could be either one of the most improved teams or one of the biggest flops considering what they've done in the off season.
I'm just hoping it's the first.
Yeah, 100%. I want to see them do well just for Derrick Rose, just so he can come back in January or something, and they just get him just for fun, and then they just all win the championship. Derrick Rose, then he can retire, and then everyone's happy.
So, we've got down to the top 2. For both of us, it's either Milwaukee or Brooklyn. Who have
What?
you put number 2?
Who have you put for number 2?
Oh, okay, I'll go first. I've put the Nets as number 2.
I put the Nets at number 2.
Mainly because I think Brooklyn last season, they have one of the best teams in the NBA, but they have shown through either load management or people just not really caring about games against the lower.
They also
teams.
showed that the team did not work as well as everyone thought they were going to do. And KD and Harden had to do a lot of work.
I think if Kyrie doesn't come back, I think it'll be better for them.
You think?
Yeah, because you can't have
I agree.
them
I
three
agree.
on the same team.
100%. But I remember we had this conversation, and I said I think there's too much in that team. There's only so many good players you can have. I love Kyrie Irving, but I think you're absolutely right. And also, have you seen how unfit James Harden is looking right now?
That dude's just like a shapeshifter, though.
That's so true. But I think he's just relaxed a bit too much, and I don't know. I think this year is going to be a big fall off of James Harden.
All right, but Kevin Durant is.
I mean, he's KD, man.
He could carry that team on its own.
Yeah, he's the Reaper, man.
Yeah, other than that, it's quite an old team. You're thinking maybe towards the end of the season they might fall off a little
Drop
bit.
off a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. Like they might not even finish second if Harden doesn't perform, and KD is obviously if he's doing all the work, he's gonna end up getting overworked and stuff. But technically, they should at least finish top 2 if we're talking about the roster and the stacked team that they've still got.
Definitely. And then number 1, we've both gone with the reigning champions, the Milwaukee Bucks.
They're just so good, man.
Yeah, like Giannis is beast.
He's Giannis. Like, what can you say about him? Watching him win that chip last year, like as much as I wanted the Suns to win, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wanted Chris Paul to get the chip. It felt so good to watch Giannis get that chip though, because I don't know, it just felt good. You could just tell he's one of those players in the NBA that you cannot hate. There's some that people hate, and there's some that whatever, but Giannis is one of them. I've never seen people hate on him.
I generally think it might be boring because he's won it twice already in like the last 3 seasons.
You think he's going to get MVP again?
I think he'll win MVP again. I'm not going to lie.
I just don't want him to, just because that'll just really frustrate me. I just want to see someone else get MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I back that, but I genuinely think he doesn't play many minutes and he still puts up mad numbers.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stop him. And if he keeps them free throws up that he showed in Game 6 of the finals, in the regular season, you're not even going to really be able to hack him properly.
Literally, because the main reason why people were fouling him is because his free throws were really inconsistent. And then Game 6, I don't know what happened. I'll never forget, I texted you on Game 6 and I said, yeah, they're going to lose. Giannis can't shoot threes. And I don't know, he must have heard me. And he's like, okay, I'll show you.
Like the Michael Jordan meme. He's like, I took that personally.
He did. He took it personally, and he was like, I'm gonna show this kid.
Milwaukee, they're just good, really, are they? And I think
they're just so good, man.
It's easy number 1 in my opinion.
Do you see them winning the chip again?
No.
Okay.
I don't
either. So it's nice that we can agree on that one.
So we predicted the East.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move over to the West, and we'll start from the bottom again. And in 15th, I've gone with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
I don't see anything. They got Gilgeous-Alexander again. That's kind of it.
That's it.
Yeah, they don't really have anyone else. They didn't really get a great pick in the draft, despite having a lot of picks in the draft. I don't see much in them, unfortunately.
I've got them as 14th, but I've got Houston as 15th again because just flat. That's what they're going to be all season. OKC as well.
I extremely disagree, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I disagree a lot. But I'll talk about the Rockets later.
That's fine.
A little bit later. Talk to me a little bit about them. Like, what don't you...
Well, last season we saw Harden leave, and it was like they just forgot how to play basketball. They gave him a ball, and is like, what do we do? Are we which way are we going? And
You just get the ball, just throw it in their own hoop. Like.
They just don't really have like the strongest team.
Fair enough. I disagree, but
okay, that's
good.
That's what we like. We want to hear this debates. We don't want to hear everyone agree. That's just that.
So you have OKC 14th. I think we're just gonna bun them off. OKC are dead.
They're gone.
They can't just there. They got a load of draft picks. How cool. I'd say you've got a bit of a hot take in the bottom two of that. I think I do too. I put the New Orleans Pelicans as 14th.
You think Zion is finishing 14th?
The team that has Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram in it are going to finish second bottom in the conference.
If that happens, Zion is out the door. He shouldn't be there. It's like dumb that he is there. Just one player in the league that is improving all the time, and he's not going to stop anytime soon. Nowhere near. Yeah, he needs to leave. Because they're a dying team. I'm not gonna lie.
They got out worse in the Lonzo trade. I mean, Devontae Graham, I don't mind him, but when you're playing second fiddle to a rookie in your first season, albeit it's LaMelo Ball, you'll be like, LaMelo Ball. But right, you can't be getting shot out of the team by a rookie in his first season.
No chance.
Maybe you'll prove me wrong. You never know. Devontae might be listening to it and be like, I took that personally.
He might do a Giannis on you.
But yeah, I generally don't think.
To be fair, that is, you know what? It's not even that bad of a take. I'm not like it is and it isn't, because Zion and Brandon, they can't do everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And Brandon Ingram isn't the most consistent player in the league. He does have games here and there where he's just not on it. Zion, he needs to go, man. I thought he'd have gone in the off season. I'm not gonna lie, I would have if I was him.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna last there past this season. Sorry.
If he wants to be the player that he can be, that everyone knows he can be, then the only smart choice is for him to be out the door.
Exactly. Moving up into 13th, and I've got the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Me too.
Ah. Yeah, I mean, it's just no defense, just vibes with them. They have so much potential, and I feel so sorry for Cat.
You know what, yeah. I don't think he could have ever won a chip, but I think he's just one of them players that if he was at a club that was better, he'd just be so, like... Honestly, yeah, you just can't help but not feel sorry for the guy because he is one of the bigger players in the NBA, but he's at such a dry club. It's like, what can you do?
But it's weird, though, because they've got a decent core. They've still got Liangelo Russell, who does have a lot to prove, still.
100,000%.
They brought in Patrick Beverley, who, I mean, is old, but should bring some defense in there, which is what they need. They've still got
experience as well.
Anthony Edwards, my rookie of the year.
Yeah, I remember. Yes, we had this conversation. We were very conflicting in this argument.
But yeah, I think he can only really get better. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be much of an improvement for them. They finished 13th last year. I think they're going to do the same this year.
I agree.
And I don't think they're going to really challenge for like a play-in or anything like that. Both of the conferences, in my opinion, are going to have like bottom three.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Well, my bottom two is the same as what it was last year, so... But then it starts to change a little bit after that one, I'm not going to lie.
We both got Minnesota 13th. But in 12th, I've got San Antonio.
This is boring, man. I've got them 12 as well.
Oh, man.
I mean, they've lost, in my opinion, their strongest player. I mean, I just don't know what they're going to do. I don't know.
Like New Orleans before, I don't think they've gotten much better.
Yeah, they've not got enough to even try and compete for like...
I just feel for Greg Popovich, man. This is ruining his legacy. I like how he wants to stay with the Spurs.
The loyalty.
This guy made the playoffs for like 20 years in a row, and now his team's just dead.
I mean, he built a crazy dynasty as well on his own.
Yeah.
and then he also broke a big dynasty on his own.
I mean, I like the acquisition of Thaddeus Young as a Bulls fan. Last year
Mm.
he was a very, very good role player for us. But you're not wanting role players in exchange for DeMar DeRozan.
You need your big boys,
Yeah,
and they have got none.
they don't have it yet. No, DeJounte Murray might have a decent breakout season. He's probably going to be their main guy this year. But yeah, otherwise, I genuinely, they're just going to be that team that could beat everyone because of the coach that they have. More often than not, they're just not going to.
Yeah, because it's going to be one of them teams that people aren't going to sleep on because of Popovich and like his experience tactically and everything.
Yeah.
But also one of them teams that are just going to get beat most of the time.
Exactly. So we'll move on. We'll move on from there, and we're going to have a little bit of a debate now because I know that you don't have the team that I've got 11th because I've put the Rockets there.
Yes, there's a bit of a disagreement there.
Yeah. First of all, they've still got John Wall on their books. I don't know if they're going to try and get rid of him. I don't know if he's going to stay. But as of recording, he's still there.
He is.
And secondly, they've got Christian Wood back properly, who was very good for them before he got injured, and then they went to nothing. Thirdly, Kevin Porter Jr., I think, is going to have a pretty decent breakout year. He's going to be one of the candidates for most improved, I think.
Okay.
Like, he dropped a 50-piece last year, and he's come out in interviews pre-season. He said that he's going to be trying to play point guard a little bit more. He's going to be trying to work on his playmaking a little. He's targeted himself to average 10 assists per game this year. I think he's going to have a decent breakout year. And then they're picking the draft Jalen Green. Like I said, I don't really know much about college basketball, but I kind of like the look of him.
Yeah. To be fair, you know what? You put up a good argument, I'm not even going to lie.
Other than that, they don't really have anyone else. They brought in Daniel Tice in free agency, who, again, I'm a Chicago Bull fan. He was there last year. I'm quite sad that he left. He was very decent, good role player. I'm not sure if they'll start him a little bit this year. Christian Wood's really their only decent center option, so maybe Tice will get some decent minutes this year, which, I'll be rooting for him. But yeah, I like the Rockets as a team. Other than who I've said, though, they don't really have anyone else, which is why I think it's still no playing for them.
I feel that. To be fair, if that's the case, there's not a chance they'll get past 11th. Like, they will be in the bottom tier of that conference, but they could finish in any position based on what you've said.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'll give you that.
Okay, so who have you got 11th?
Me, I've got Sacramento.
I'd say, yeah. That's probably a bit true. I've got them 10th, but
that's fair.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit about Sacramento. I just, like I said in the review video, man, I just feel for them because if they were in the East, maybe last season, probably not this year. The East is a lot stronger.
The East is very hard this year. It's going to be very tough.
They're not reaching the likes of your Utah Jazzes and your Phoenix Suns.
Not a chance. Nowhere near.
I do like De'Aaron Fox, though, and I really hope he does get into the All-Star team this year for the first time.
To be fair, yeah, it's just the same. Like, it's one of them teams that you can see that they want to have it, but they're just never going to.
Yeah, it's not going to work for them, unfortunately. I think they'll get playing this year.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think they'll finish 10th. I think there'll be a instant elimination from the playing, but I think they will get.
At least they'll get there.
Yeah, they've got enough about them to improve on what they did last season.
Tiny bit of success from last year. So
who have you got 10th?
I've got New Orleans in 10th.
Fair.
Because I think, although, like we said, they're just not all that. I do think playing straight kick out, like they're going out elimination straight away. But I think they're gonna do just enough to get there. But then after that, because everyone else is much stronger than them, I just don't see them getting past the first round of the play-in. But I mean, there's nothing else much to say. Like
we've talked a lot about New Orleans.
Yeah,
they've got two good superstars, but even when they had AD there, they didn't really have anyone to build around him.
I mean, look what happened. He left and won the chip straight away.
Exactly.
That could be Zion if he had his, if he was thinking properly.
Well, you never know. It might happen next season. Let's just hope he goes to the
might.
So that means we've put from 10th to 15th, we put the same teams in there. Not in the same positions.
But it's all the same teams.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting. In ninth and 8th was literally like, I'm not going to say I flipped a coin. I metaphorically flipped a coin.
Okay.
There you go. And I managed to put Portland into 9th. Dame has been very good at getting them into the playoffs. But I think it's just a play-in for them this year. Maybe they could squeak an 8th through the play-in, but I don't know, man.
I like your thinking. I put Memphis as 9th.
Right.
Because I think their team is good. They've got a nice core. Of course, Ja is a player who's only getting better, and he's going to keep getting better. But I just think it's not enough.
No,
Nah. But at the same time, I put Portland 8th.
I put Memphis 8th.
Ah, so see, we're thinking quite
Yeah.
like
And it's genuinely that playing game between them two.
that. Yeah, it could go either way.
Literally, for the eighth
I
seed,
mean,
it could really
all
be
it takes
anything.
is Dame to just be
Yeah.
Dame, and they will win the play-in.
I actually thought he was going to leave
Yeah, of course,
this
like
offseason.
no question. He must be fed up. Imagine you're Damian Lillard. You're one of the best in your position in the league. What are you doing? Why are you at a club that are not doing anything for you? They're just getting worse every year.
I mean, I genuinely think if the Blazers had any interest in acquiring Ben Simmons, then that trade would have probably been made during the offseason.
Yeah,
Simmons for Lillard.
but then again, that's just a L on Portland.
You're not dropping Dame for Ben Simmons and then giving a Philly draft picks as well. That's not happening.
No chance. If it was like a straight swap, I could see it happening, but at the same time,
It's still
Portland
an
would.
L for Portland if it's a straight swap.
Yeah, I
Philly
mean,
needs to be giving them something.
Dame going, no matter where he goes, no matter what they get, unless they do like Dame for LeBron, it's a L. But he needs to go. I thought, and I don't know why, but I thought he might have gone to the Bucks.
All right.
I think it'd just be a perfect fit, and plus that's almost a guaranteed chip. Then
Yeah, definitely.
that makes one of the strongest teams that much stronger, and then that would have just been like ropes for everyone.
I mean, I just thought that he'd have gone to the Lakers. I'm kind of happy that he didn't.
Makes it a bit more like, yeah. If you went to the Lakers,
No,
easy, like
then-
that's it, chip confirmed.
I mean, I'm not saying anything on Russ. I think the acquisition of Russ is still making them
Crazy,
OP.
crazy.
But Dame would have. That's like your end game team. That
Yeah, that
Dame,
is
LeBron, and
literally
AD.
that is.
That's the best big three. You're probably saying that's better than your Clay, Curry, and Durant big three. I'd say
If you think,
Dame,
I mean, then
LeBron, and AD.
that's the best starting five in the league by a mile. That would be. I would not want to start a game and look across from me and see LeBron and AD and Russ and Dame.
It's not what you're wanting.
I'd say, sorry guys, I'm retiring.
Yeah, wave the white flag.
Literally, like
Game's done.
it's.
Don't turn up.
But I mean, if he doesn't realize by the end of this season that he will never win anything at Portland, then that guy, he's wasted his whole basketball career and it's just a joke. He's gonna be like just one of them people that everyone will talk about in 10, 15 years. Like, remember Dame? He could have been something.
I genuinely don't think he's going to win anything in Portland, and I also think that this year they're probably not even going to make the playoffs. I think that Memphis
Yeah,
might
100%,
might
100%.
be in. To the 7th place, I have the Los Angeles Clippers at 7th.
Really?
Yeah, because I genuinely think without Kawhi, there are 6 teams that are better in
Is
the
Kawhi
league
still
than them.
injured?
Yeah, there is potential he's going to be back like after the All-Star break though, so they're going to be going through about 2/3 of the season without him. Like I said in the review video though, I think this is going to be a massive opportunity for Paul George to show that he is one of the best carriers in the NBA. He's not a good second option, but I think as a first option, he's deadly. You know, we saw that with Indiana. We saw it in OKC when he was with Russ and that when he was a first option.
To be fair, even then, without Kawhi, 7th for them isn't amazing, but
Other than George, they don't really have much.
yeah, so
They
if
don't.
they made 7th, I can't lie.
Yeah.
As a fan, you can't really complain.
No, they brought in Eric Bledsoe. It's kind of just very average. They've got rid of Patrick Beverley, which I think is a pretty big loss for them. Genuinely think their team otherwise is pretty similar to that of last year. So yeah, I think a 7th place finish is probably right for them.
The reason why I was so shocked is because I also put them at 7th, and I just didn't think you would do that.
Oh, real?
Yeah, I mean, like the exact same reason. Main reason is because, like you said, there's 6 better teams. Even I didn't think Kawhi would be back that late. I thought he'd be like back by the end of November or something. But even still, I don't know. There's just something about them that I don't think is gonna work.
No?
Especially now that because I didn't know Kawhi was out for that long.
I think that Paul George has it in him to carry the team slowly over the line. You know, like LeBron did a little bit with the Lakers last year.
Yeah, I do like Paul George. So if he did that, then people would stop putting disrespect on his name.
Yeah, I mean, he had that one bad bubble run.
I mean, it was horrific.
It was awful.
It was tough to watch. It's the same situation like with Russ. People clown a guy who is confirmed Hall of Famer already.
Yeah.
Mr. Triple Double. The guy's the man, and he gets clowned like he's Ben Simmons. Like, But yeah, seventh is being nice. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll
Fair.
keep him there.
Okay. Who have you got in sixth?
The big six. I've got Dallas.
Same.
I
The Luka Doncic club.
mean, Luka
If
is just
Point out there, if Giannis doesn't win MVP this year, it's going to be Doncic.
Luka. You
Yeah,
think that?
that's
I
the
knew
big-
you'd say Luka Doncic as MVP. My MVP, when I tell you, I'm being optimistic with my MVP just because I'm just being that guy. But I will say, yeah, I'll wait till we get to the team.
Their team has pretty much not changed from last season.
Yeah, it's unchanged. That's the thing. I thought they would try and get anyone to strengthen their team.
Try and get rid of Porzingis.
Exactly. It's the only logical way for them to try and better them their team. Like they've got one of the best players in the league, one of the most improving players in the league, and he's just. I mean, Luka is gonna be MVP soon, if not this year, next year, or whatever. He's gonna be the MVP. He literally. What doesn't he have? It's crazy. But when you have a player like that, you want to keep them. And you need to have a strong team. Otherwise, he's out the door because who's not taking him? But sixth, I think Dallas is fair.
They are one of those teams. I think they're in a position that like Portland were a few years ago when Dame was. I'm not saying he's not good now, but like.
When he was at the top of his game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I
And
mean,
to be fair,
Luka's still only early 20s though, so he's still got.
Yeah, 100%. But he can't do it on his own.
No,
That's
exactly.
the truth.
So,
but
do you think I'm gonna have hope that Porzingis is gonna not be an absolute donkey?
Picks it up?
Yeah.
But if Kawhi comes back early or just picks up where he left off, then they could finish sixth, and then Dallas could get pushed to seventh.
Yeah, fair. You never know, but it's gonna be playoffs for Dallas.
I don't think they're getting top five though. Nowhere near.
In fifth, again, I'm gonna say this is a hot take, but you never know. You might have done this too. I've put the Suns in fifth, the team that got through to the finals. I think that they're gonna be hit with a lot of teams around them are getting better, and they've kind of just
100,000%. Our minds must have been interlinked when we did this one. Our top four has to be different. Our top four has to
too.
Yeah, of course I did, man. Last year, obviously, when we had this conversation, season review.
This isn't scripted, by the way.
I swear, he said, "Shall we make one linked prediction, or shall we do two separate ones?" I said, "We'll do two separate ones." But by the sounds of it, we've linked it. Everyone's getting better, and they're staying the same. And top five is still good for them.
It's not like they're going to get worse by staying the same. They've still got Booker and Ayton, who are young and improving. Chris Paul just seems to be one of those people that kind of just doesn't stop.
He never loses it. He never ever loses it.
His points production might go down, but his influence on the rest of the team just stays there.
Yeah, 100%. And he's just one of them guys. Again, you just cannot hate CP3.
Yeah, definitely. You just want him to do well. I do think last year was their best chance. I don't think they're going to get
100%. I knew if they didn't beat the Bucks, they're not getting it again. But I mean, top five is nice for them,
especially in this tough West Conference.
Yeah, but I don't think they're even gonna get past the conference finals.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Right, the top four is fourth place going to be different? In fourth, so. I've put Golden State.
Okay, we've got different ones. Right. Okay, I've put Utah Jazz as the fourth.
All right, Golden State. I don't know. It really does depend. I think once Clay comes back, they're sorted. They could potentially.
And he's back soon.
They could be back to your big top finals caliber side.
Well, thing is, with Golden State, they're gonna have a much, much better year. I know that for a fact.
And because of their okay year last year, they still got a top 7 pick. They're gonna have James Wiseman back. He got injured for the second half of last season.
He was looking good.
Draymond Green, he's
Draymond. What can you say?
And is this the season where Andrew Wiggins finally plays good basketball?
No, he is not a good basketball player.
Oh no,
he needs to get out of there because he does not deserve to be at the Golden State Warriors. No, man. I would pay good money to see him and Ben Simmons have a 3-point contest. I would go broke to watch that happen. Because, my God, that guy and his bricks are crazy. Oh, I really dislike him as a basketball player. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you can tell, but...
no, I think I can. But yeah, and they've got Andre Iguodala back.
They're getting the band back together.
They might even get back to where they were a few seasons ago.
I mean, there's a reason why I put them where I put them.
talk to me a little about Utah. I've got Utah third, so we can both talk a
Okay.
bit about Utah together.
So Utah last year they were good. They were surprisingly good.
Yeah.
But it's the same situation. Everyone else has gotten a lot better. Like last year was the year for the underdogs, and this year is nowhere near the year for the underdogs because the underdogs are getting swept at every opportunity by all these big teams. Because the big boys are back. That's the truth. Except from the Clippers and Kawhi, all the other big teams are not playing this year. They're not playing games at all. And Utah top 4 for them is still nice.
I mean, I've put them third. I think a third place is pretty decent for them. They've still got an okay team. Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, brilliant backcourt, you got to say. Still got Rudy Gobert. They brought in some underrated, I think, pickups. Brought in Hassan Whiteside. He's going to add some decent depth on the bench. They brought in Rudy Gay as well, who, he's a good vet to have on the bench as well. I think he's going to impact that bench quite well. Give someone other than Jordan Clarkson to be like their main guy off the bench.
But they're just not going to be able to do what they did last year.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like,
But
no
still,
chance.
top three for me, top 4 for you.
Yeah.
That's still pretty decent. Who have you got at number 3?
I have the Golden State.
Right, so our top 2 is the same again. So you're telling me...
Probably.
Telling me this, out of the top 7 in this, we're probably going to have had all of them except 2, which we just have.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to put Golden State top 2, but I'm being generous. But you know what? Actually, no, forget that. Actually, I changed my mind. They're not third. Nah, I don't even care. I think Denver's going to be third. No, I was trying to be humble with my love for Golden State, but nah.
I like myself a Denver Nuggets side.
They are. Come on. I mean, they've got the Joker, and he is the man right now.
But again, their team hasn't changed yet. Their team was still pretty decent anyway. They're going to have Jamal Murray back this year, which is huge.
Big player. I think that's what they need. They want to get through the playoffs. They need that extra man.
Michael Porter Jr. could be a most improved player candidate this year.
100%. They could go far in the playoffs. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Of course, Joker with his MVP year last year, he's got high expectations. And if he fulfills them or not, I'm not sure. You never know.
I think he will. It won't be a back-to-back kind of thing because, in my opinion, I think Embiid probably should have. As much as I like Jokic over Embiid, I feel like they gave it to Jokic because he has been kind of average.
And then he just...
And now he's great, kind of thing. Whereas Embiid...
But to be fair, Embiid's been popping off for years, and...
Exactly.
It's like the whole thing we was on about... Yeah.
You pop off for years, sometimes you're just not going to get the recognition.
But I think Embiid knows he is that guy.
Yeah.
And I think he's one of them. He doesn't need the MVP to prove that he is at the top. But yeah, I don't think Jokic is getting MVP, but I think he's still going to have a pretty good year.
Yeah, me too. I've put Denver second. You've obviously changed them and put them third.
So that means we're both definitely got the same top. Put Warriors as second.
You've now put the Warriors as second, which means that we could potentially see a Lakers-Warriors Western Conference Finals.
I think that's definitely going to happen. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's 1,000%. That is the Western Conference Finals.
Well, the way that I've predicted it, it can't happen because I've got Golden State as 4th.
Fair enough.
So they'll meet in the semis.
Well, for me, it's easy. That is the final because they are the two, in my opinion, the two best teams in the West with Clay back. And I mean, it's not like it's any time now he's back.
He's had 2.5 seasons out. I'd really hope that he can come back.
He's gonna come back, and Splash Bros are gonna do what they were doing. I know for a fact. And the thing is, that I keep saying this, but he's back so soon. It's not gonna be like the season's quite into it, and he's not gonna have to keep up. It's gonna basically be the beginning, and I'm too excited. The boys are back. The big 4: Clay, Steph, Draymond, Iguodala. What are you gonna do when the boys are coming? Oh my days!
Could potentially be one of the best teams in the NBA, but I do think one tops it.
Yeah, easy. I mean, LA this year, it's just wrong what they've done.
When I was checking my phone and seeing that LA have brought in all of these good players, I was going, oh no.
What they did was, I didn't even...
It's quite cool seeing what they've done, but again, it's just a load of old people.
You know what, yeah.
But you never know, it's the experience that you need. I mean, wouldn't mind the Lakers winning the title this year because they've got Carmelo Anthony.
1,000%. And Russ. Russ needs that chip.
Yeah. Russ and Carmelo, they need the chip.
They've
just got a load of people that people like. They've got DeAndre Jordan. I feel like he's due a chip. Rajon Rondo, he's back.
I was so happy when I saw that one. Because, he's just a different player, man. He's been doing it, 10 plus years. He's just so clean, man.
I think you are kind of hoping that AD stays fit, at least for the playoffs as well, though. Because
But
I
that's
do feel that without
he's not
AD,
reliable. He's not
I
reliable.
feel like without AD, maybe that team is,
It like flops.
yeah, maybe.
Because I mean,
It did
like
last year.
yeah, I mean, majorly.
Yeah.
Of course, without their two main men, they were gone.
Yeah.
But this is why now I think whoever made the decisions had their head screwed on. They saw, okay, AD and LeBron were gone, and we had no one. Now, because of that, they brought back Rajon Rondo. They got Russ. They got Carmelo. They got them big boys who are there to step up if the two men are gone.
Yeah.
Even if LeBron wants to sit down one day because he's tired, because come on, what is he touching, 36, 37 or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that? He's obviously his age is it's going to play a part sooner or later. But they've got them big boys. They've got Russ.
Another thing that could hinder them, though, they do have a few players who are notoriously very shaky when it comes to field goal percentage. They'll take a lot of shots. They won't all necessarily go in. I am looking at Russell Westbrook,
Yep, Russ.
potentially LeBron James as well. You know,
Mm.
he's skeptical to a.
I mean, I think them two. As well, even though we've just been gassing up their team for about 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I think them two are going to clash.
In my opinion, the two best passers in the league.
Yeah,
Two
but
people who are going to command the ball.
it's the whole thing. They both die for those triple doubles, and I don't know. We've seen the memes.
Do you see any of them averaging a triple double this year?
I mean, Russ is more likely to, but
Yeah.
it could be a case that neither of them do because they might clash.
I think they're winning the title this year, in my opinion.
You think?
Yeah, they had a brief year away from it. I think they're going to be back.
I've got three teams that I think could potentially win, and LA is one of them.
I think it's either going to be them, the Bucks, or the Nets. You could put Golden State in there, but I don't think.
I put them straight in there. I put them straight in there. But
I think the only thing that's stopping the Lakers this year is injuries.
yeah, well, like I said earlier, like injuries could play a part, but then in that case, to avoid what happened last year, they've got them big boys to step up.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And to be fair, if they win the chip, I'm not gonna be even a slight bit shocked. But it could be like a Nets situation. Like last year, everyone just assumed that's it. It's Nets done and dusted, and then
Yeah, that's true.
Then KD was 1 centimeter too much in the line, and
Yeah,
I mean, who knows? But like this season is gonna be crazy.
it's going to be mad. I'm so looking forward to it.
Like honestly, you know what? It has the potential to be as good of a season as the bubble year, obviously pre-COVID, and that season I remember had so much potential, and then obviously it flopped. But I think this has about that much.
Well, it's the NBA's 75th year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's come on, something crazy is gonna happen.
Something crazy is going to happen.
But I can't wait, man.
Well, thank you, Sully, for being here with me. A little bit more of a chilled episode to begin.
We should do like weekly reviews of
once the
season.
Once
the season starts, we should do that.
Anyway, that is the end of today's premiere episode of season 2 of Beyond the Arc. Thank you, Sully, for joining me again.
Come on, man. You guys are gonna see me more often because me and Sam have got big things planned.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully be here a lot more often than last year. We might have
100%.
even a schedule.
You never know. We might be organized.
leave a like for organized.
Come on.
Beyond the Arc.
Drop a hashtag for organized.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to be taking a bit more of a chilled approach to these kind of things next year. Me and Sully just chatting about basketball, doing all that kind of stuff. And we're hoping that you guys can stay with us.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends about this. Share it out. Make sure that you're liking and subscribing to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you're sharing it out on any podcast platform. Give us some feedback in the comments below. It's all appreciated. Thank you once again, Sully, for being here with me.
Come on, man.
And we'll see you guys.
People show some love, and then it'll help out a lot.
Yeah. Cheers, bro. You heard him. You heard him. Listen to Sully.
Man.
Thank you, Sully, again for being here with me.
Got you,
and we will see you guys in the future. Peace.
Peace.